good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Unmuted Conversations podcast with yours truly, Latasha Renee. Y'all, I am so excited to be with you guys on tonight, you ladies on tonight, because listen, this is night one of an amazing series that I am doing. The name of this series is called Behind the Chapters. So if you tuned in to my previous podcast, or if you follow me on social media, and you should be, you know that I recently announced my latest book collaboration with 10 amazing ladies where they are unmuting their message and sharing their story with the world. The name of that book is called Unmute Her. You can see it on the screen if you are watching me, but it is called Unmute Her because silence was never the end of the story. So I'm so excited because I've had the opportunity over the last few months to work with some amazing women, some women who have gone through various trials in their lives, whether that is abuse, whether that is divorce, whether it is drugs, mental health issues, all kinds of things, teen pregnancy, so many things that these women have carried for years and have been trying to deal with shame and embarrassment and all kinds of things. And they have decided that now is the time for them to speak up. Now is the time to unmute themselves. Now is the time to help other women unmute themselves. And so I'm excited. This is an exciting season for me. So I will be interviewing the ladies one-on-one as we discuss their chapters, as we discuss their process, as we discuss their journey, as we discuss their healing. And I know that a lot of you know that I am one that I do promote women sharing their story. If you know, you know. And back in 2017, I wrote my first book where I did that. I shared my story. But baby, it's 2025. So you know there's been some more things that have gone on. So in case you were wondering, am I sharing my story in the book too? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So definitely get the book because not only are these 10 ladies unmuting themselves, but I am doing the same thing. Ironically, it was not the original plan. I was thinking I'm just, fitting to toss the mic over to them. And God was like, nah, you got something to say too. So I'm excited to be able to talk to them one-on-one beyond the pages of the book, just to kind of give a face to the chapters that you're seeing on social media. So before I bring my amazing guests to the stage, I want you to go ahead and like, comment, share this podcast. Go get your sister, go get your neighbor, your friend, all of them. Tell them to pull up because we have an amazing episode that is starting. If you are watching us on Facebook, share. If you are watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Listen, this is just the first episode of the series, but baby, we got several more women coming behind our guests on tonight. If you are listening to us on Spotify, go ahead and send that link over to someone that you think could benefit from this amazing woman of God who will be sharing on tonight. I'm gonna not hold you, but go ahead and take about 10-15 seconds to go ahead and comment. Tell us where you watching us from. Pull up, tell your sister and them to pull up because we are in for a time on tonight. I just want to say thank you so much for always supporting us here at the Unmuted Conversations podcast. I don't take it lightly. I am so grateful. I would not be here without your support. But without further ado, I am going to bring my guest on tonight. Her name is Tina Thomas, okay? She is a firecracker. She is a warrior. She is a survivor. And I'm glad that she decided to grace me with her presence on tonight with the Unmuted Conversations podcast. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello. Thank you for having me, beautiful.
Listen, I'm glad you are here.
So
Listen,
happy to
I
be here.
know we are in for a time tonight. So I'm going to jump right on in. I want you to
Okay.
go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the audience, a little bit about yourself, where you're from, all of the things. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Tina Thomas, and some people call me T Love. I am originally from Augusta, Georgia. I've been in Atlanta for about 10 years. Um, right now, I'm using my voice to advocate for healing, freedom, and truth, especially for women who've lived through domestic violence and trauma,
Yes.
because I'm a survivor. It's
Yes.
pretty much me.
Okay. Listen, and I'm sure our listeners here on tonight are ready. You know how we do, honey. We want the tea. We want to know what's going on. We want to know your story. Well, I'm gonna just go ahead and let y'all know she ain't telling y'all everything tonight because she
No.
needs you to purchase the copy of the book. And just so you know, it is going to be released fall 2025. So just in a few short weeks, more information to come on that. But Tina,
Yes.
um, I want you to just go ahead and without telling too much, because we don't want,
Okay.
but tell us a little bit about your story, about the book and your experience.
All right. What made me say yes to be a part of the book, first of all, is
Yeah.
because I have been silent for so
Yeah.
long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now I've finally found my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I know how powerful it is, and the book is has been a divine calling for me. You
Wow.
know, it's not just about telling my story, but
Mm-hmm.
making space for others to be seen and understood and unashamed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what made me say yes and want
I'm
to do
so
this.
glad. Listen, thank you for your yes.
Yes,
Thank you. Because listen, everybody didn't make the cut, but I'm so glad that you had the courage to say yes. Because just even in this whole experience, we're a couple of months into this project now. You know that everyone doesn't always make it to the end. You
right?
know, sometimes people kind of stall halfway through the project, like, whoa, I didn't know I was gonna have to dig this deep, or oh, I didn't know that's a little sensitive spot right there. But just you saying I'm going to push through even when it hurts, even when it's hard. And I'm going to share my story because
Yes,
you understand, like you said, your voice is powerful. Your voice carries weight, and your voice is what God will use to save another woman. So
yes,
thank you for your yes. I am humbled. I'm honored because you didn't have to say yes. You could have, you listen, you could, a lot of times people stay quiet. People stay quiet for a lot of reasons,
yeah,
but oftentimes it's to protect other people.
right.
Sometimes it ain't even always about us, but because, was that your situation? Because I don't want to speak for you, but was that your situation as well? Maybe why it took so long?
Yeah, that was definitely my situation. When things happened, it affected a lot of people. It affected multiple families,
Yeah.
friends, and I just always have been that person that cared so much about other people.
Mm-hmm.
So for this long period of time, I wanted to protect everyone involved
Yeah. Yeah.
and not really realizing that I was really hurting myself
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
I kept everything silent
Yeah.
when I really needed to tell my truth. And so
Absolutely.
thank you so much for seeing me and recognizing me and wanting me to be a part of this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Like I'm humbled. I'm so grateful that our paths crossed in this way. I'm so grateful that God aligned us, or God even has, you know, thought it not robbery to use me to help you and as well as the other lady share your story, because I know that it's not easy. But I also know that it's necessary, because a lot of times, and I can even attest to the fact that a lot of times we are very quiet, we are very silent, because
Yes.
our stories rarely just involve us. We got to think about other family members. We got to think about other, other people involved. And so it's like, okay, do I protect them or do I speak up? And most of the time, especially as women, we are protectors. We're nurturers, but listen,
We
we
are.
got a little bit of bear or a lion in us too. And
Yes.
so we do want to be protective. And so we put our own needs on the back burner. But there
Hmm.
does come a time where you have to say, I got something to say and I'm going to say it.
Yes.
I'm unmuting the woman inside of me, and I'm also going to help unmute the woman standing beside me. And
Correct.
that is what this project is all about. You know, I told y'all, and I said, well, there did come a point in time where I thought this project was I'm gonna leave this project. I'm removing myself from the project. I'm gonna help these women share their story, and that's that. Couple of months in, couple of weeks in, God was like, "No, you got something to say too. You're not done either." And so I had to really come to grips. I'm thinking I'm finna just toss y'all the microphone here. Here you go. And God was like, "Nah, you picked that up for you." And
That's
so,
right.
if anybody was wondering, yep, I got a chapter in the book too, and I got something to say too. I wrote a book back in 2017. I ain't done talking. And so, and it's challenging. The same emotions, and I have Tina talk a little bit about that too. The same emotions that some of the authors felt, baby, I felt them too. Because I'm
Mhm.
like, trying to find that balance between standing in my truth. And let me be clear, it's the truth, and
Mhm.
protecting other people who I have loved, people who I have, worked with and spent time with and labored with, but still
Yes.
saying, no, I got to say something. So, it's a blessing for you, but it's a blessing for me too. It's been a process for you. It's been a process for me too. But
Yes.
either way, God is still God. And I'm so glad that He is allowing it to be.
Me too.
So, like I was saying, like without telling too much, because tell
Right.
us a little bit about your story, your chapter. What is it that you're talking about? Spill a
Um,
little bit of the tea, not the whole cup.
I'm gonna spill a little bit. So of course, my chapter is about survival, right? But not just from gun violence and physical abuse. It's about surviving silence. It's about surviving shame.
Yeah,
It's about being asked the wrong questions. It's about asking the wrong questions. And of course, when you read my chapter, you'll know a little more about that.
yeah,
But it's about me as a woman, walking through hell,
yeah.
and just finally finding the courage to walk away and to start again.
Absolutely.
That's what my chapter is about.
Wow. Wow. It sounds like it sounds like you are overcomer. It sounds like you got the victory.
Yeah.
It sounds like you are a woman that can help another woman come out too. That's what it sounds
Yes.
like to me.
Yes. Yes.
Good. Listen, I'm so proud of you. Can I
Thank
just let me
you.
just pause and say that I'm so proud of you because I didn't know you during the time whenever the situation, the years that you were dealing with abuse and all of those things.
Mm,
But when I look at the woman you are today, I'm saying God is good. Listen,
all
anybody
the
who reads
time.
it, they can say, listen, or and I think it's so powerful because they can say, oh, the God rescued her, He can rescue me too.
Yes.
Whatever that rescue looks like, whatever, because it looks different for different people.
Yes.
And that's kind of the message that you want to, or that you have shared in your chapter. And I think it's also, you just mentioned about asking the wrong questions. I really need
Hmm.
y'all, when y'all read her chapter, I really
Mm,
want y'all to pay attention to that, because even
mm,
as advocates, even as family members, even as
mm.
friends, we get it wrong sometimes. And even
Yes.
sometimes, those of us that are in it, we don't ask the
Hmm.
right questions.
Right.
So she gives us valuable information on how to ask the right questions. Stop asking the wrong questions. And so um, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you shared that, because listen, I want the people to know. Um, how was it? You did mention about experiencing shame and all of
Hmm.
these things that when
Hmm.
it comes to your story. Did any of those feelings come up as you were writing, and what was that like? Because I know you had to revisit a place that happened so long ago. So what was that like?
Yeah. So honestly, it was overwhelming.
Mhm.
It was hard for me to put the years of pain and survival and healing into words.
Yeah, yeah,
But as I started writing, it's like a door cracked open, and the crack got wider and wider and wider, because I was finally letting the truth breathe. You
Exactly.
know, um, a lot of the memories that I had were buried deep. Um, I didn't know that they were still there, even in my healing.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very, very, very emotional. But I kept going because I knew it wasn't just about my pain. It
Yeah.
was about my purpose.
Ooh.
So I kept going.
Yes.
And I got it
Yes.
done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that? Let's write that in the comments, baby. It's not about, it wasn't just about your pain, but it was about your purpose.
Yes.
Like God has so much greater for you. And you had to even write, and I know, listen, I have wrote several books. I know it's difficult, especially when you got to revisit something. And I'm sure every co-author in this book can attest to the fact that going back to that moment was difficult. Something like I remember even editing your chapter, and you were
Hmm.
like you was like, no, add that, no, no, don't say it, and I'm trying to like edit some stuff, and you was like, no, that's not what I said. I said, okay, okay. You was like, I could see the growth. I said that to say you weren't like mouthy about it. You was
No.
like, no, this is the way it happened, and this is what I want to say. And I'm like, yes and amen. Okay, girl, I got you. And so it was just amazing to see your growth, because that's what this is all about. When you first start, you're like, oh, should I say it? Am I gonna hurt somebody's feelings? What if then you was like, no, this is what happened. This is
Right.
what I said. And I was just like, amen. Amen. So just to see your progress, just to see your growth, I'm so glad that you pushed through
Thank
in
you.
those moments. Was there anything in particular that helped you? Like when you're on this journey, you're like, "Ooh, this helped me in the healing process." Sometimes people say it's church, sometimes people say it's therapy, sometimes people say it's community. But as you were going through your healing process, is there anything in particular that stands out that you're like, I couldn't have made it without?
Well, number one, God,
Yes.
because,
Yes.
in those moments when people skew the truth and
Mhm.
people spin their own story, and
Yeah.
you have people who love you but don't understand,
Yeah.
and then you have people that you're still trying to protect. um the only person you can talk to is
Yes.
God,
Hmm.
because God hears everything
Yeah.
that you say, and God knows what's in your heart, and God knows what's in your mind. So that's what got me through it.
Yeah.
There's other people, of course. I did the therapy, you
Hmm.
know and I had some good experiences with the therapy.
Yeah.
But getting closer in my faith,
Yeah.
uh getting baptized again,
Yeah.
uh finding a church family that I love, and just being able to hear God, that's what
Hmm.
helped me with my healing.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad to hear that, because sometimes people, I've talked to women all the time where they feel like they don't have anybody. They feel like they don't have support. And when you go through, sometimes when we go through trauma, not only do you feel that shame, but then you're like, well, where's God? Some people are
Mhm.
mad at God, or some people are like, well, where
Mhm.
was God? And so I'm glad that even in your process, you were able to cling to Him. You were able to pull closer to Him. And so that's something that even as the people who are listening on tonight, they can, kind of take heed to that and listen to that. Just be reminded that even whenever things are at its worst, you are never too far out of the reach of God.
Right.
And so, and yes, we can have people around us, we can have friends, we can have community. And I am a big advocate of all of those things. But
Yes.
at the end of the day,
Yes.
God,
God.
God,
But God.
period. God
But
is like,
God.
like really, because um, trauma and violence and all of these things can silence us.
Yeah.
It has silenced so many of us, and we don't always know what to do. But just being able to run into the arms of a loving God,
Yes.
priceless, priceless. um do you feel like sharing your story, because I know you mentioned you went through that phase of shame, then you went through the phase of, I got to protect these people involved because probably because you love those people and you're like, I don't want to make them look bad. Um,
Right.
but how has this entire process of finally sharing the story on your terms and your own voice, how has it changed you, whether that is as a mom, as a wife, as a woman, all of the hats that we wear? How has it changed Tina?
It's it's honestly, it's made me whole. It's given me clarity. It's given me power.
Yeah.
It's given me peace.
Mm.
I'm no longer hiding. I'm no longer apologizing for surviving. You know,
Ooh, wait. That's good right there. Say
yeah.
that one more time, Tina.
I'm no longer apologizing
Wow.
for surviving.
Do you know how powerful that is?
I
I'm
do.
no longer apologizing for surviving. I think write that in the comments, y'all. I'm no longer apologizing for surviving. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go
No,
ahead.
it's
But that,
okay. It's
whew,
okay. Telling my
wow.
story helped me like reclaim the parts of me that trauma tried to steal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because even with the trauma that I experienced, I lost a lot of my memories,
Yeah.
not just bad ones, but good ones. And
Yeah.
so for a long time, that bothered me a lot because
Yeah.
right now, I don't have those memories back.
Yeah.
Memories of my children's childhood. I have bits and pieces of it and I can see pictures of it, but
Mhm.
that was taken from me.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Like telling this story has helped me reclaim so many parts of me.
Wow. 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 I am I'm so speechless because just listening to you talk with such power and just wow, like victory. Like that's what this is, victory.
It's
Because
victory.
the enemy really wanted to keep you in that low place. He
Yes.
wanted you to stay a victim. He didn't
Yeah.
want you to reach this survival status, this overcomer status, but yet you are here. And I'm so, so glad. And I am so sure that there's people, women listening on tonight who can relate to you, who can relate
Yes.
to, not knowing if they're coming or going, not knowing if trauma will win, all of the things. But just listening to you on tonight, I'm so glad that women can see that there is a way out. There is an emergency exit. And the women who are listening on tonight, is there anything that you would want them to take away from your story? Like you, even if you don't, whatever you want to share about your story, if you want to give more details or not, but what do you want them to take away from even this podcast series on tonight with you? Like what
I
is?
think for me, I want women to realize that they're not alone
Mhm.
and that they're not crazy
Yeah,
and that they're not to blame. I'm going to
yeah.
say that again. They're
Mhm.
not alone. They're not crazy. They're not to blame. I want them to know that their voice matters. And even if they're still in survival mode,
Mhm.
freedom is possible. Healing is possible.
Yes.
Um, I want women to unmute
Yeah.
because silence protects abusers and um pain multiplies in the dark.
Ooh.
you know
Yes.
when we speak up, we break cycles.
Absolutely.
We free others.
Yep.
Our stories don't just save us, they save the next woman too. So
Ooh.
that's
Yeah.
basically, and I'm getting chill bumps. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional.
Go ahead. Ooh. Ooh.
I'm
Mm.
sorry.
No need to apologize. Listen, this is your moment. This is your moment.
I want women to know that strength is not pretending to be okay,
Right.
right?
Right.
It's about standing in your truth. It's about asking for help. It's about setting boundaries. And it's about starting over no matter how long or how much it takes. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't think this was going to happen, but
It's okay. Listen, this is a judgment-free zone. Like this,
yeah.
your tears are powerful. Listen, take as much time as you need.
I want women to know that start with a whisper if you have to,
Yep. Yep.
but just don't stay silent forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Amen. Amen. To every woman who's listening to this podcast on tonight, I just want to encourage you. Just echoing what Tina said, you are not alone. You are not crazy. You are not to blame. It doesn't matter what your story is. It doesn't matter. Even sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we feel like it was our fault. You're still not alone. You're still not crazy. You still have the ability to unmute yourselves. You can recover. You can still be an overcomer. And so I just want to just echo what Tina said on tonight. Listen, start with the whisper. Sometimes when you're on your healing journey, everybody isn't at a place where they can write a book. But then maybe your unmuting looks like calling your friend on the phone and saying, this happened to me last year,
Mhm.
or that happened to me 10 years ago, and I've never felt safe enough to share it, but I want to start and share it with you. That's
Yes.
part of unmuting too. It doesn't mean that you have to stand on a platform in front of 1,000 people and share your story.
Right.
And especially in the beginning, it doesn't mean that you are in a pulpit preaching. It doesn't. It none of that has to be. The unmuting starts within. Before we ever picked up a pen or opened our laptops to share our story, to write a chapter in a book, you know what we had to do? We had to reconcile that within ourselves and say, listen, now is the time, and I deserve to be heard.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, as long as what we're sharing is the truth. Yes, people may get hurt. People may be in their feelings. But what did Cat Williams say? If you wanted me to say nice things about you, maybe you should have been nicer to me. But I'm gonna stand in my truth. I'm gonna speak the truth. I'm gonna speak up. I'm going to unmute her.
Yes.
That her down on the inside of me that folks tried to bury.
Yes.
I'm unmuting her. That her on the inside of me that my ex thought that he could knock it out of me. I'm unmuting her. The her that's down on the inside that felt she wasn't good enough, not worthy enough. I'm unmuting her. And that's what this project is about. That's what this behind the chapters is about. Sometimes reading a story in a book can be so impersonal. Sometimes, but I wanted y'all to hear from the authors themselves, because this is not a game. We're not trying to air dirty laundry. We're not trying
Right.
to throw people under the bus, because I don't do that. I told them from the very, let me tell y'all, I told the authors from the very beginning, tell your story. Don't tell other people's story. Don't be out here telling folks business. Don't be out here. No, tell your story. Your story matters. Now you
Yes.
let everybody else tell theirs. If your situation, you know what I mean? Let your ex-husband tell his story, but you tell yours. Because we don't air dirty laundry over here. But what we do is that we grow, we heal, we recover over here by speaking up and sharing our truth. Tina, I'm so glad that you joined us on tonight. Listen, you almost broke me down, girl. You almost
Yeah.
got me, girl. You almost made a thug cry. But listen, your story is powerful. I want you to know that. I
Thank you.
cannot wait for our listeners to read it. I cannot wait.
Me
Listen,
either.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, honey, that chapter opened up like Boom. So I cannot wait. Listen for y'all to read her chapter. It is so liberating. And if you've ever
Thank you.
been in a place where you felt alone, or you felt like no one understood, or you felt like, how can I get out? Read Tina's chapter. Read T Love's chapter. I promise you, your life will never be the same. And I'm not just saying that
Yes.
because I like her or because it's my book. No, I'm telling you, it's powerful. You can see even on tonight the power that's in her voice, the passion that you hear when it comes to her sharing her story. Like, this is not a game. We are not playing. We are sharing our story, and we are encouraging other women to do the same thing. I
Yes.
tell people all the time, once you heal, share your story. Share.
Yes.
Now, you might not can't do it when you right in it or whatever, but once you heal, share your story, because somebody else needs to know that they can come out too. People who are in the thick of it, they need to know as well. So, Tina, thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Um, Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule, because I know you're busy. I know you have a lot going on, girl. I know Atlanta living keeps you busy and all of the things, honey. I couldn't keep up, but more power to you, girl.
Okay.
So I'm so glad that you joined us on tonight. So before we wrap it up on tonight, just let the listeners know what's next for you. What do you have going on? Like I said, we talked about the chapter on tonight, but I know we wear many hats. We are whole women. So what you got going on that the listeners might want to know about?
Well, first I want to say I'm continuing to be unmuted.
Yes. Yes.
I'm no longer playing the background.
Yes.
I'm continuing to like speak,
Hmm.
write, be an advocate. I'm building a platform. It's called T Love Speaks.
Hmm.
And it's about healing. It's about accessing resources.
Yeah.
I deal with Social Security disability as an advocate and as a rep to help people go through the application process when they're applying for disability. I'm
Yeah.
continuing to try to break the cycles of abuse and just help women all over the world
Wow.
become unmuted.
Yes.
So that's basically what I'm working on right now.
Well, I am glad to hear it. Y'all, listeners, subscribers, you've heard it here first. She is building her platform. She is a disability advocate. And listen, I highly recommend her. If you know someone who is stressed out, because listen, we all know how hard it is. Well, how hard it historically has been to get disability.
Yeah.
But listen, if you know the right people, if you know somebody who can show you what to do and do it right the first time, listen, let's cut out all of that. So Tina T Love is your girl. I know that if there's someone who's listening on tonight and they need some support in that area when it comes to disability support,
Yes.
or when it comes to just unmuting themselves, just speaking up.
Yes.
If you want to reach out to T Love, I'm gonna let her share how you can connect with her, how you can reach her. Tina, if you want to provide like your social media handles, or just how can people reach you, girl?
Well, you can actually reach me on most platforms. On Facebook is T Love. Instagram, Threads, TikTok, YouTube. I'm on as T Love Speaks. You won't
All
see
right.
my face, but you will see a logo and
Mhm.
a healing circle, and it says T Love Speaks. So you'll know it's me.
Okay, good. So for those of you who are watching, you can see it on the screen. She is on YouTube, TikTok, IG, Threads, all of the things as T Love Speaks. That is TeeLoveSpeaks for those of you who are listening on Spotify. If you want to reach her on Facebook, she is on Facebook as T Love. That's TEE space LOVE. So please reach out to her. Feel free to DM her. Feel free to reach out to her if
Yes.
you would like any type of additional support when it comes
Yes.
to unmuting yourselves. When the book comes out, if you want to purchase a copy of the book, you can reach out to her as well as any of the other co authors. They will have books available for purchase for you. anything that you need. If you were touched by her story on tonight, if you're like, listen, I need somebody to pray for me because I am in dealing with ABC 123, reach out to her on any of those social media platforms. I know her well enough to know she will pray for you. So,
Yes.
like I said, Tina, thank you so much for joining us on tonight, for being the first speaker, the first guest in the Behind the Chapters series on the Unmuted Conversations podcast.
Thank
For
you.
those of you who have stuck it out with us, who are still listening, still tuned in, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here on tonight and continuously supporting the Unmuted Conversations podcast. If you are wanting to be a guest on my show, please feel free to shoot me an email. You can email me at unmutedconversations@gmail.com. We can see if we are a good fit for each other. For if you've been following us for any amount of time, you know that here at the Unmuted Conversations podcast, we are obsessed with helping women unmute their message and share their story with the world. So I only interview women. So if you are a male, sorry, I can't. Sorry to this man. But I only interview women. But feel free to send me an email. That's unmutedconversations@gmail.com. If you follow me on social media, please note that the Unmute Her brand does have a new home. So for if you follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at Unmute Her Collective. It is on the screen, Unmute Her Collective, all together, no spaces. That's where you will get all of our future updates. If you are wanting to figure out where I'm going to be, because I've been doing a lot of, I have some live podcasts coming up that's, I'm a guest on certain other people's podcasts. I have some travel dates coming up. I'll be ministering at the end of August for a women's conference. So if you're wanting to know where I am, one way you can find me is by following me on Instagram at Unmute Her Collective. You can also connect with me via my website, which is unmutehercollective.org. Please, please leave me your email on my website because guess what? When the book launches, whenever we release the date, you'll be the first to know there because you have subscribed to my website. So please, please, please do that. If you are a YouTube subscriber or wanting to follow me there because maybe you're not on Facebook and social media, I am on YouTube at Unmuted Conversations. All together, no spaces. You can find me there. So once again, thank you, thank you, thank you for continuously supporting the Unmuted Conversations podcast. Like I said, for the next few shows, I'll be interviewing co-authors. They will be joining us, sharing their story just like Tina did on tonight. Once we announce the book launch specific date, we are going to have a book launch party. You'll get to see us all together. If you follow me on social media, if you don't, you might want to tell somebody to come follow me
That's right.
because you finna see all of us together in a few short weeks in Florida. And so get ready for the content. Get ready, get ready, get ready. I said that in my TD Jakes voice. But please follow us, me and these other women. We have fun together, but I promise you, we get down to business. I promise you, we do a lot of ministry. We do a lot of healing together, and I'm so grateful. So once again, Tina, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
To
you.
all of my followers, thank you for joining us. And until next time, good night.
Good night.